Hello, everybody. So we are currently live now on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, Periscope, and Twitter. We're on all the platforms. How is everybody doing and coping during lockdown 3? So I'm going to give some information out from the government and the government's advice around COVID-3 lockdown because there's still some confusion. People don't really understand or really get the rules at the moment because it is quite confusing, to say the least. So I'm going to share with you some information regarding the new lockdown 3. So the first one is vaccinations on the priority list. So people with autism and who've got a profound learning disability and autism are under the current, I think it's number 4 or number 5. So if you've got autism, profound learning disability, you are on the priority list. Also, carers who are caring for somebody who's profoundly autistic and as an additional learning disability, so that's profoundly autistic with additional learning disability, you can get a priority vaccination. It's on number 5, number 5, number 5, number 6, stroke number 5, number 6. It's up high in the priority list. So that's going to be around March time when people with profoundly, so this is not just autism, it's people who are profoundly autistic and their carers can get a priority vaccination. Now, some people have been asking, how does that happen? Now, what I've been reading is that you need to have a carer's allowance to be in receiving care allowance to prove that you're a carer for somebody who's profoundly autistic. So just make that clear. People with autism at the moment and people with autism who have a learning disability are not on the priority list at the moment. They are not on the priority list. But the ones who are on the priority list are people with autism who are profoundly autistic. They will be on the priority list. And their carers, so if it's a child or an adult who's profoundly autistic, then they would be priority for vaccination, and also their carers as well, but they need to be in receipt of attendance allowance. That's what I'm hearing in any way. I am speaking to ministers and MPs. Once I get 100% clear current guidance, then I'll come back on and obviously let you all know. So that's the vaccination and the priority list. Next one we'll go on to, next topic is autism and exercise. Now, this is really important. People need to stay local. Last year, in lockdown 1 in March last year, people with autism could go out further afield from their local area. At the moment, the government hasn't given guidance on this. So if people do go out further afield, there's a potential that you could possibly get a fine up to 6,400. So do be mindful of that and just make sure that you currently stay local where you live. Some people have been asking me on Facebook and Twitter and even LinkedIn, they've been asking me, can they travel further afield into an open space to do exercise with their child or adult? The current guidelines are no, you must stay local. So I have been contacting some ministers today, some Labour ministers. I'm just waiting for them to get back to me. They're going to clarify on what the government, if the government are going to change that specific rule. But at the moment, it's stay local. So it's staying local in your local area. You can't travel, 3 or 4 miles away to an open space park or anything like that. You must stay local. I know last year the government did say people with autism could travel further afield. But at the moment, that Pacific rule hasn't changed at all. So the next one is shopping and priority. So a lot of people are still struggling to get food shopping, whether that's online or delivery, click and collect. If you contact the national supermarkets, whether it be Sainsbury's, Asda, Tesco, try and get on the priority list. A lot of people with autism have been going on the priority list because they can't cope. Lots of people can't cope with their current lockdown situation and find it difficult and stressful going shopping in this current climate. So a lot of supermarkets are being quite lenient and allowing people to get priority slots. But for that, you need to register. So you need to contact the head offices for Tesco, Sainsbury's, and any of the other supermarkets out there. So I got a message here from Paul. If you got any messages or any comments, do post them along just down below, and I'll bring them up on screen and try to answer them. Paul Campbell on Facebook has asked, is this for Scotland as well? Now, this is currently for England only. So I'm not sure of the regulations and rules around Scotland. They are completely different to the UK. But currently for the UK, as I mentioned earlier, vaccinations priority list for those who are profoundly autistic and have a learning disability. They are priority list for vaccinations. Autism and exercise, that must stay local. Government haven't actually changed any of that yet, so it's still must stay local. Can't travel further afield like lockdown 1. If you do, there's a potential you could get fined. So people need to stay local. Once I get confirmation from one of the ministers I've been speaking to today, once I get confirmation, I will come on and let people know if that does change. And shopping priority as well. If people contact the head offices of supermarkets trying to get on the priority list and explain if you've got autism or a learning disability that you need, priority shopping, I'm sure they would be accommodating and put you on the priority list. So that's just a brief update of the current guidance and guidelines for lockdown 3 for people with autism and a learning disability. Have a great day wherever you are. The sun's shining. So if you can go out and exercise, do go out and exercise, but stay local and most of all, stay safe. Have a great day wherever you are. Take care.